Change Minds, Mika Frankl. We're at JacksonWink MMA. Rodney Kealoni joins me right now to talk about Jackson's MMA Series 26. Going to be taking on Chris Cortez. Thank you for the time, sir. First time going to talk to you. So let's start off with, where are you originally from?
I'm born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii. Moved out here, been in Albuquerque for about a year now. The last 4 years I spent a bunch of time in Washington, so I resided there for a little bit. But that's about it. Just born and raised in Hawaii, and now I'm here in Albuquerque.
When did martial arts come into your life?
I started at about 19 and a half. I'm 24 now, so I'm just coming up on 5 years. So about 5 years ago, I just randomly, I was going to community college and wanted to do some kickboxing. Went and did that, fell in love. About a year and a half later, went to Thailand for about 5 months, lived there, fought there, and then came back and just started doing my MMA journey, and now I'm professional and fighting the co-main event against Chris Cortez.
Had you thought about fighting prior to trying it? Like, what was the sudden urge to go?
Just in Hawaii, man, like, everybody likes to be the tough guy in Hawaii, you know what I mean? Everybody, like, respects the people that can fight. Everyone respects the guy that can scrap, just growing up, you know what I mean? And I'm just a competitor, man. I've competed my whole life in team sports, and I just like to win and don't like to lose. And that's why I do it, man. I like to compete, and don't just like to compete, I like to dominate. So I don't like losing, and that's why I'm here.
What was your sport when you were younger, your favorite?
I played football from the age of 7 all the way till I graduated high school.
And what position were you?
I was outside linebacker.
So how did the skills that you've learned from football transitioned over to MMA?
They transitioned just because I feel like I had a good athletic base. The number one thing I feel that transition is discipline and footwork, man. The footwork I learned during football and all that has helped me a lot. Mixed it up with my striking, and I feel like I'm very versatile, especially on the feet.
And what led to from Hawaii to Washington?
I went to community college with a bunch of buddies. We moved up there, and then I was supposed to transfer to a school in Oregon and play some Division III football after a couple years of community college. But once I found kickboxing, stopped going to college, and committed to that kind of full time, and here we are.
So it was kickboxing first. When did MMA come into the plan?
So kickboxing was my first year. Next year I did one amateur MMA fight, and then I went to Thailand right after that first amateur MMA fight. Lived in Thailand for 5 months. I came back, took one amateur Muay Thai bout, and then one amateur MMA fight after that. Just because nobody wanted to fight me in the Northwest scene in Muay Thai, so I took a MMA bout. And then I kind of started to like MMA and seen it kind of blowing up, and I was like, you know what, hitting people with 4-ounce gloves is kind of cool. So started that about two and a half years ago, about 3 years ago, then the full transition.
Muay Thai, what was that like being in Thailand, learning Muay Thai?
It was awesome, man. I lived with the Thais, trained with the Thais, did everything with them, so slept on the floor. It was a good experience, man. They have real good work ethic, man. Every single day, 2 times a day, 2 3-hour sessions, 2 running. You run twice a day. It's just a lot of hard work, and then you just learn to appreciate everything, man. So that's what going to Thailand and fighting Muay Thai did over there. And it was the first time I fought for money. So when I got back from Thailand, I was like, I'm not fighting for free anymore, and that's why I'm a professional.
What was that like, fighting in Thailand, that kind of atmosphere?
It was interesting. I fought on the local circuit in Phuket, which was kind of cool. That was nice. I fought on December 30th, so it was real packed, a lot of tourists, and that was cool. But then I got to fight in Bangkok. I think it was in March of 2016 or February of 2016. Got to fight in a 16-man tournament with 12 different countries on TV in Thailand, and that was probably the dopest experience. And I got to fight guys from all over the world. Fought a Thai with 300 fights. It was that was changed the game for me, man. You know what I mean? And just elbows and knees, and first time it's like a full rules bout for me, and it was life changing.
What did that do for you returning then here to the States and committing yourself to fighting?
Committing myself to fighting when I came back to the States. Started with the Thailand thing because I just, I made money out there, and all I did was full-time training, and that was like the dream for me. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted ever to do since I started this, was to just train, make money, and get to live life. You know what I mean? Travel. And once I went to Thailand, I was like, I don't want to stop traveling and fighting, and the only way to do that is become a professional. So that's what I do now.
And where did coming out to New Mexico pop up into the journey?
So when I was scheduled. I just took my first professional loss, and I need more looks. I need outside things for me. So I started looking at bigger camps from when I was in Washington, and came out here for a camp last year for about 4.5 weeks. And it was a good camp. Unfortunately, that bout just didn't happen when I flew back to Hawaii. That bout didn't happen after that camp. So I worked full time and saved some money, and moved me and my girl out here, and now we're both here training full time and fighting out of JacksonWink MMA.
And what's that been like?
It's been good, man. It's good for me, I think. It's away from distraction back home in Hawaii or Washington. I have too many friends, too many distractions. Here, I can just focus on fighting. I have world-class people in every aspect of fighting, ground game, striking. Everyone here has something to offer to me. So I feel like if you win every round, you're not getting better, and that's why I'm here. I'm getting better every day.
Who's been some of the biggest influences on you out here at JacksonWink?
Man, to be honest, it might sound like I'm just saying the big name guys, but I go to John Dotson's house all the time. That guy's a big mentor to me. He helps me in and out of the cage, you know what I mean? With Dad and stuff, we hang out a lot. He just gets my mind off of stuff. His brand, Ninja Brand, they help me out, give me some clothing and stuff, trying to help me out with a little sponsorship. And then Ray Borg, me and him, I've been back-to-back camps with John and Ray. So I've had John's full camp, and then right when he finished, I had the last 3 weeks of my camp to spend with Ray getting ready for Joseph Benavidez. So we've all been in camp together. It's kind of been helping us grow, and yeah, those have been the biggest influences, and they've been helping me the most, I'd say.
For people that don't know, what should we expect out of watching you fight?
Unpredictable, and you should expect to see some fireworks and a finish like you've never seen before, man. I come in to kill, and I promise to bring some fireworks to the show.
That show is going to be on the 27th up at Buffalo Thunder. What do you think about the matchup with Chris Cortez? He just beat a guy from the JacksonWink Academy, Ricky Esquivel. And he's coming off of a pretty heralded amateur run, undefeated so far as a pro. What do you think of this matchup?
It's the match I want, to be honest, man. I saw him fight Ricky, and if you want to hear my honest opinion, I think Ricky was winning that fight. But at the end of the day, that wasn't the result. And now I'm scheduled to fight the kid, and I'd love to. He's 6-0 as an amateur, I believe, 2-0 pro. He's got a pretty decent record, but he hasn't fought anyone like me. The rest of the competition, I mean, they're okay. They're not like me though, man. I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna be hunting from the bell. You know what I mean, all the way to the last bell. So he's gonna be in for a scrap, and I don't think he's ever fought a killer like me. So.
We've seen Chris, a strong wrestler that looks to take it to the ground. What do you have in plans to be able to deter him from the fight he wants to make it?
Nothing, man. I mean, yes, takedown defense. You know what I mean? I move my feet a lot, and I'm going to be clipping his chin every time he tries to close the distance. So, I mean, it gets hard to take someone down when you're getting your chin waxed. So I'm gonna try and stay moving, keep my footwork going. Obviously, if he gets in on the shot, I've been practicing my takedown defense like a motherfucker, you know. I'm working hard with some real good wrestlers. So, I mean, he can do what he wants to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna start clipping his chin. And every time he's gonna fail to take me down, every time he does get me down, I'll get right back up, and I'm gonna butcher him.
Is this going to be the first fight since transitioning camps over here?
No, this is my second fight. My first fight would have been in cage sport out in the Northwest. It was in Washington at the Emerald Queen Casino, and finished that fight in the first round, 47 seconds. And let's see if I can make this one quicker, but he's a pretty tough kid. He might draw it about a little bit longer, but I plan on finishing.
Last but not least, sir, do you have people you need to thank or shout out to?
I want a big shout out to Victorious Apparel for sponsoring me and helping me out getting my training done. Never Fail Meal Preps for getting my meals done so I can make this weight and feel healthy. All my team here at JacksonWink, all my coaches, Coach Joey, Coach Harry, Coach Wink, Coach Greg, all these guys. And then my training partners, John Dodson, Ray Borg, Jesse Tafoya. You know, I got all these guys helping me out every day, and there's all my teammates here. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to my family back home. Love you guys, and I can't wait to put on the show.
How can the fans follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram. My name is Captain Kealohi. And then you can add me on Facebook. My name's just Rodney Kealoni, and I'll keep you updated on everything. I stay pretty active on Instagram, so I'd give me a follow on there.
Awesome, sir. Thank you for the time, and everybody, we'll see you at the Jackson's MMA series at Buffalo Thunder on October 27th.